Got a new shirt, so I have to flex it. Deal with it. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, most of for anything in animation, including TVs and movies as well. I'm your host, Jackson Small, in my brand new Bakugo shirt, here to talk to you about the next episode of My Hero Academia. Episode 11, Game Over. Now, as I actually sit down, I was sitting on my knees. Now, if you haven't already been able to figure it out, this is an amazing season, and this big finale, this 4-part episode finale, is awesome. So let's not waste any more time. Just dive right in, shall we? Because if you guys have seen all the previous reviews in this series, you should know how this works by now. So, here we go. Let's get into it together. I hope you guys enjoy. Midoriya, Mineta, and Asui escape the shipwreck zone, having just defeated a group of villains there with the combined efforts of their quirks and their quick thinking. They discuss their next course of action and agree that they should head for the exit to avoid the Central Plaza entirely. The Central Plaza is where Eraserhead is battling a large group of villains. Midoriya believes that this will only end up exhausting their teacher, and decides that they need to go and try and help. At the landslide zone, Todoroki freezes a number of villains as soon as they are all warped there. He evaluates the situation and deduces that the villains who accompany Shigaraki and Kurogiri are nothing but small-time thugs. 2 more evildoers try to get the drop on Todoroki, but he easily evades their attack and freezes their bodies. Trying to gather more information about the current conflict, Todoroki interrogates the incapacitated villains. He warns them that if they remain frozen, they will die of hypothermia, and offers to unfreeze them in exchange for information about the villains' plans to kill All Might. Concurrently at the mountain zone, Kaminari, Jiro, and Yaoyorozu are surrounded by villains. Yaoyorozu and Jiro repel a few attacks using weapons created by the former's quirk. Kaminari explains that his quirk cannot be effective in a situation like their current one and asks for a weapon as well. His quirk used by surrounding his body with electricity, but if he shoots it out, he risks friendly fire. Thinking on her feet, Jiro kicks them into a group of villains, electrocuting them. Momo then uses her creation quirk to create a thick insulation sheet to protect her and Kyoka. With no risk to his friends, Denki electrocutes the entire area and disables all the criminals. That was a pretty cool moment. Back near the USJ entrance, Eraserhead continues to repel villains at the Central Plaza until he's confronted by Shigaraki. The ringleader manages to damage Eraserhead's elbow using his decay quirk. It's pretty gruesome and violent when you see it on screen. Eraserhead swiftly retreats as Shigaraki points out the weakness of his quirk, but compliments him on lasting before the hero is suddenly challenged by a large monstrous villain, known as a Nomu. 13 tries to use her quirk to destroy Kurogiri, but he turns it on her and puts the hero rescue out of commission by ripping her back out. But she somehow does not die from that, which is a little suspension of disbelief. Ida tries to escape through the exit and Kurogiri cuts him off. Shoji then grabs Kurogiri, giving Tenya a path to the exit. Midoriya, Asui, and Mineta reach the Central Plaza only to find that their teacher has been defeated by the bioengineered monster Nomu. In a building at the ruin zone, Bakugo and Kirishima finish off the remaining villains. Kirishima wants to go save his classmates, worried they don't have the offensibility that he and Bakugo do. Bakugo argues that their peers can handle themselves against the weaker villains and that they should focus on defeating Kurogiri, which would trap the remaining villains in the USJ. Kirishima is impressed by Bakugo's calm and rational demeanor, having become used to his angry and aggressive personality. Meanwhile, the other zone's members of Class 1A continue to battle against the villains. Ida makes a mad dash for the exit, but Kurogiri remains hot on his tail. With the combined efforts of Uraraka, Sero, and Sato, Kurogiri is held off long enough for Ida to escape and go find help. Having allowed Ida to call for backup, Kurogiri declares the villain's plans ruined and warps back to Shigaraki's side. He informs his leader that 13 has been dealt with, but he allowed a student to escape, much to Shigaraki's frustration. Knowing that their group can't fight off reinforcements, the villains decide to retreat, but not before killing the remaining students. Shigaraki swiftly accosts Asui and her friends, nearly ending her with decay before Eraserhead uses his quirk to stop the villain. Trying to save his friends, Midoriya attempts to use a smash on Shigaraki, but it's intercepted by Nomu. Midoriya then notices that his arm wasn't broken as a result of that attack, but also the attack had no effect on the Nomu. Shigaraki attacks the students again, but they are saved by the distraction of All Might's sudden arrival. Yeah, a lot happens in this episode if you can't already tell. You have Eraserhead fighting the Nomu, you have a bunch of these other students fighting off these villains in the different zones of the USJ, and you have All Might showing up at the end. And you also get a little bit of gore and violence when you see Shigaraki use his quirk on Eraserhead. So, yeah. And next episode, it only gets even more insane, so just buckle up. Final verdict for this episode, I mean, easy 10 out of 10. Easy. It's got the action, it's got the plot, it's got the story going forward, it's got the character interactions, it's got everything you want out of My Hero Academia. So, yeah. Awesome episode, phenomenal, outstanding episode, and it only gets better, because the next episode is arguably the best of the entire season. I'll see you next time when we dive into the next episode. All Might.
We cannot take it anymore.